like you around the corner. Are you here? What did I say? I think so.
What is up, everybody? This is the Cryptic Heartland podcast, episode number 146. Holy crap. Sorry about all the trouble there. We had a little bit of issues behind the scenes.
As always.
Things have, unfortunately, Facebook and everybody else that we use, platforms like to create updates. So, but hey, I don't know. We struggled through it, but we made it through it, so we're good. It's been a long, long time.
It has been since what, September?
I think September 21st is the last show we've done.
Yeah.
A lot of things has changed. Somebody got married. Yeah. Somebody came out of the closet finally. That's him still.
That was Dan. He
Poor
told
Dan.
me so.
He's not even here.
That's what happens when you show up. You get
If I came out of the closet, I might not want to come on here.
No, but anyways, it's been a hot minute since we've been able to do a show. And thank you to the viewers for being so patient. I apologize. I started working on this yesterday to get everything set up, and wouldn't know what I was going to do live until we did it. So
Absolutely.
We're here. So, all right. Well,
so you are?
I'm one of the hosts. I am Leo, owner-operator of Everyday Legacy Paranormal.
The man behind the scenes of Cryptic Heartland podcast.
Sometimes behind the scenes of Cryptic Heartland.
He's the floating
Not today,
head.
though. Yeah.
The floating head.
Yep, that's me. And fat stash. It's been a minute. You haven't seen my beard either. That's why.
I know.
It's long. Well, Chris is saying I'm rocking a fat stash. I got the long beard too. You can't see it because of all the black I wear.
Well, who's this guy?
Mr.
Next?
Man, who are you? The dude with the...
Oh, yeah, he's back. The man with the visor.
Back
The man with the plan.
The man who gets called out everywhere we go, even when you're not even investigating with us.
Yeah, I think I got around back in those days or something in the paranormal
You
world.
must have in
Man.
another life or something.
Or they kicked me out and sent me
You're
back
some
here.
dictator from some other life. Everybody knows your name.
Mario and Luigi. Or Bob and Luigi. It's whatever.
Wasn't there a bar where everybody knows your name?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
Holy
Roth,
crap.
he's a member of everything
Yeah.
with us. and
All factions.
Been
Yep.
with us since 2013.
I don't even know.
12 or 13.
20,
somewhere
yeah,
there.
2013.
If I wanted to.
Yeah.
I can really operate a show, not much less give dates. So, and who are you?
I have no idea anymore. No. I'm Jason Roberts. I am owner of Road Trip Paranormal.
Yep.
Member of Everyday Legacy Paranormal
Right.
since 2009.
Yep.
And I guess owner of Kansas Bigfoot Research Society.
Yep.
Ghost tours of
Yep.
tour guide for Ghost Tours of Kansas.
Yep.
And
One of the producers of Cryptic Heartland podcast.
absolutely,
Yep. So,
I love it. I love having my hands on everything around here. And you can take
Yes,
that
he
however
does.
you want to.
Get
Shut
down to
up.
some dolls in between you guys. That way nobody gets handsies over there.
I still got the rocking the two creepy dolls here.
Yep. Do you remember their names?
I have no idea.
The one closest to you, I've been calling Cuddles, based
Cuddles.
upon that movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That's
And
right.
the other one
That's right.
is Clementine, that as we
Oh,
named.
that's right. Clementine.
Really?
But we
Had to
came
go
up with
and do
names
that.
when we first brought them on the show a while back, but we were getting some weird responses calling back, or some good back and forth with those dolls that it was answering to Rosemarie, which
Yeah.
come to find out Dan had just bought those on the way down to Eureka Springs, and when he visited the I can't remember the place, the place we went to. I can't
Not a
remember
clue.
his life. I'm somewhat with the P.
Everything's been so
I
since
know.
September. I can't remember
Yeah.
anything
Right.
past then. You know.
But one of the
So-
the whole point of it is one of the prostitutes, I think her name was Rosemary, I believe,
Gotcha.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
so, I don't know if it's attached to that doll now or what, but
Could
she
be.
was answering with us to that on the last episode. So
Well, I'm hoping while we talk and stuff tonight, maybe she'll like reach over and smack him.
I hope
don't
so.
know.
smack
Maybe.
him.
3-fingered spanking.
Let's do this then. Before
Oh
we
no.
Put the old EDI machine next to you.
There you go.
And
You just bought
hopefully-
this, right?
Yeah. Put it on. Hopefully you can see it on camera.
Right there.
If I have to swing this out of
Right
the way,
there.
I will.
I got it.
Can you see it on camera? Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Right
you
here.
can.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully if we get any kind of interaction, it give us some kind of temperature change. If the thing vibrates like there's right now, the orange, that's like a geophone, and then the other part is EMF. So,
That's me under the table.
Roth.
Sorry, I mean, I was. Never mind.
That's what she said.
All right.
So, how's it been?
It's been hectic, man. Just
Yeah, you've been working your ass off. And
have been. I know Roth has too. Owner operator of Bob and Luigi's out in Andover.
Hey, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon to be a sponsor of the show, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
But
Still waiting for that, right?
yeah, and Jason, you've been a world tour.
I've been.
a man on a mission.
Yeah, I am like ready to rock the paranormal world and everything that we're doing. I'm excited for a lot of things that are coming up and has already been going on.
Right.
We've been already had last weekend. We did our event with the Columbian Theater, the Booze and Brews, which was awesome.
Oh yeah.
We did that last weekend. A lot of people. I think we had I think it was close to 50 people.
Oh
I
wow.
think.
I couldn't tell from the picture that every
Yeah.
table looked full. So
I mean, yeah, it just
I
kind
didn't
of
count
blew
them.
up. We
Nice.
we had a lot more people than expected. We kind of raised the limit too
Yeah.
a little bit because a lot of people were calling and wanting to come, and
yeah.
there's even a ton of people that wanted to come, still couldn't do it, so
Mhm.
they're hoping for another one. So we're going to be doing another one here soon.
right.
We've got events in Dodge, hopefully in the works.
Yep.
I know Captain Carl's on and everything.
What's up, Captain
We're going to get that working, Carl. I know you and I have been talking about it, and there's Claudia right there.
Yep.
She, it was an amazing time last weekend.
Sold out. Yep, what you said.
Jake had a phenomenal time. I know Dan had a good time. My group, actually, when we were downstairs of the Columbian Theater, that's where most of the activity that I had fun with
Mhm.
is the fact that, damn it, you haven't been there yet.
Nope.
You've been there.
Yep.
So down in the basement, which was great because we had very limited time for some of the guests.
Sure.
Just trying to get everybody hoarded around and and wrangle them up and get them into the right spots and everything each time. As the night went on, everybody got tired, but
Yeah.
we got downstairs and I threw out some equipment and everything, and I happened to look over to my right where there's a doorway to the stairwell,
Mhm.
and it's lit up a little bit.
Right.
And yeah, I saw shoulders and a head all watching us.
Nice.
Shadow figure just standing there watching us. As soon as I pointed it out, it took off.
Wow.
You just saw it zip off. And I'm like, did anybody see that? Did anybody freaking see that? So I'm looking around and everyone's like, no. And then somebody else was like, oh, it's back. I turn around, I look, yeah, it's back. It's came back down looking at us, and several
Really?
people saw it. Then it zipped off again, and then it came back a third time, just
Wow.
watching us.
Interesting.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, with Jake, he was with us and everything. When we were talking on stage, I always make him do the Frank's box session.
Yeah.
Just
I know
because
some people call it Estes method. Because
Yeah, I
it
like
originated
Frank's
out of Estes Park, Colorado. At the
Yeah.
Shining, God damn it. I'm out of freaking practice here. At the Stanley Hotel is where it originated from. That whole method. So kind of describe what that is.
So the Frank's, I like to call it the Frank's
Mhm.
box session, especially with him because, he kept calling Jake Frank for
Right.
so long. That. So it's fitting that.
course.
Anyway, you take the Spirit box,
Mm-hmm.
you plug in headphones, but they're noise canceling headphones. You put them on,
Right.
and Jake.
He's reenacting it.
Jake will sit there, or whoever.
Sure.
Will sit there and will blurt out anything that they hear that is,
Right.
coming through that is clear to them. They're
Yep.
not just blurting out anything. But it's amazing because eventually, as it gets going, Jake and I will start having a conversation. But I'm not talking to Jake. I'm
Right.
talking to whoever is there in the room.
Right.
And what was amazing is that when the guests were all out there watching, who was still left that night, it came back that, I asked, were you the one watching us from the stairwell?
Right.
And said yes. I was like, fantastic. And then Dan asked, are you J.C. Rogers by chance? And he agreed to that. He was like, absolutely. So we went back and forth, and then that's when Claudia also mentioned that there was could see feet behind the curtain of us walking along. And I didn't see it, because I was facing Jake, and I was actually writing down my questions and his answers if he actually answered to that question and everything. And so I was paying attention to that, but I'm not talking very loud. So if he cannot hear me, I can actually hear the ghost box so loud because he has it turned up so loud that he's completely blanked us out. He's just listening to that, got his eyes closed and looking down. So, I asked the question, is there somebody you're waiting for? And he's like the woman. I was like, is she here on stage? Because Claudia had already pointed out that there's somebody walking behind the curtains. And he's like, yes. I was like, okay. Well, why don't you go talk to her? I can't, just can't. I was like, and then Dan mentioned, he was married, and he is married. But he will not. So here we are talking, well, it's Valentine's weekend, dude. Go talk to her. If you really want to go talk to her, go talk to her. And all that.
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't. So I was like, Mr. Rogers. I was like, wait, do you like JC or do you like Mr. Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Mr. Rogers like in your neighborhood? I made a very bad joke.
Of course.
And I was like, oh man, that was a bad joke. And he called me an asshole.
Rightfully so.
Yep. And I was like, I everybody laughed, and I was like, I deserve that. I totally deserve that.
Yeah.
But it was just a great conversation. He was very forthcoming with, he liked her. She did music and she was part of the production and all that stuff, but he would not at all go talk to her. He just had a thing for her, but just would not ever, and I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Viewers at home on your screen right now, between Roth and, well, I called you Jake, Jason is somebody took a picture of that.
Yeah.
I think it was the Wamigo Paranormal Research, which kind of explaining that you're kind of a part of, right?
I was asked. That is Marla. Marla actually got that put together and everything, and I help out with the page just to kind of help do any more promotions because I told them I think I would love to be a part of the Boozy Brews in any investigation stuff from here into the future, and definitely help out with whatever we can do out there because there's so much rich history with the town itself,
right?
To the theater, to the Oz Museum. We got to investigate the winery,
Oh, nice.
which we had to do that with the lights on, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so many bottles of stuff everywhere.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, which was cool.
Makes sense.
We just did the same thing. We just did a lot of dowsing rods and spirit board work. And there was one gentleman who actually, and I posted the video. I went live with him.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually talking to somebody. He was sitting there and just doing the dowsing rods, and he was actually talking to somebody that he's connected to already. That spirit just follows him. And it was actually interesting. Has nothing to do with the winery, has nothing to do, but it was just interesting that he has somebody that's connected to him.
Interesting.
So I posted that live. I can post it to the Wamigo Paranormal
Actually,
Research.
there's a picture right there
Yeah.
of the spirit board session at the
Yeah.
winery.
And then I did take a picture of him, but I got him live.
Now, the last time I was there, we didn't investigate the winery, correct?
No, this is all new.
Okay.
All new. Last time we were there, we got to investigate the Opera House.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do the Opera House this time. That was kind of like, I guess, if needed.
Gotcha.
Because they're going through, I don't know if they're going through some changes or anything like that, but very cool place over there too. Hopefully we'll get to, again, investigate there in time. But
Yes.
Claudia's just, I was just reading what
Oh.
Claudia's saying about we loved it. It was awesome being inside the winery there and everything. And they were even giving people, tasters of wine and cheese and crackers and all that. I loved it. I didn't do it. I wanted to, but I didn't do it.
Understandable.
But going back to like the Frank's Box session, and through that, I always feel bad.
Amateur.
But no, I always feel bad for Jake or anybody who does those kind of sessions
Mm-hmm.
with the headphones and all that, because when you wake them up out, like you have to startle them to like break them out, because they don't know what's going on. They can't hear, and it always wipes Jake out so bad. So I always feel bad. He was just like done. He's like, I'm ready for bed. That just wiped me out. But it was a good time. We looking forward to more events out there. I know tonight they were all meeting for talking about the next go around of events out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be talking to Captain Carl out in Dodge to get us going for events out there at the depot.
Correct.
There's another, I don't know if I can actually talk about it, but
Right.
there's another event that we're going to be helping and running out there in Dodge too. Plus possibly 2 more locations for us to investigate out there again. So looking forward to it. I've been trying to my best to keep things rolling and stuff, just because 2020 and 2021 just sucked so bad.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm just excited and stuff like that about it, all kinds of things that are happening. So
Yeah. And that's not to say we weren't active during those days. Or those 2
no.
years. It just
Yeah.
most of the public stuff got put by the wayside, as for the obvious reasons. But
right.
we did a couple private investigations along the way. You guys did some public ones, not as much as we would have.
Right.
But yeah.
Helped out with Kathy
Mhm.
with Ghost Tours of Kansas. She's always we did Hotel Josephine.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that one inside and out. So if you guys want any answers to the hauntings of Hotel Josephine, self-proclaimed most haunted location or most haunted hotel in Kansas, but we've done some other hotels in Kansas, and I can tell you that there's probably some other hotels out there that are a little bit more haunted than that. We did the Wolf Hotel, which was awesome. I got to go underground to the tunnels and everything like that. That was very cool. I think we helped out the hotel with figuring out, because Jake had that photograph that we've shared,
Mm-hmm.
On there. But helping the hotel figure out who that was that's actually in the dining hall. Because the photograph that he had that is amazing. And he took the photograph long before he ever met us. He was just a paying guest at one of their events. And you were there, right?
Yep.
That was awesome. And the history of it was cool. And the fact that you could, it was very sad that there's a gentleman who sat there, ate his dinner, and this, I think it was, 1927, or was it 37?
I think it was 27.
27, yeah. I knew it was, really far back. But this gentleman came on train, stopped in there because at the hotel, at the Wolf Hotel, the dining hall and the dinner and everything was, and there's the photograph right there. We'll talk about this. So when Jake took this photograph right here, he took 3 snapshots. I believe it was the second photograph of the 3 shots that he took, shows the gentleman in a white shirt, standing there. You can see him on the right-hand side of the picture there as he's moving forward. You can see motion to him and everything. But for the longest time, and even talking to Jake, we believe that was the gentleman who came in I think 27. Sat down, ordered the biggest meal, smoked a cigar, had a drink, and he waited till everybody was gone, and he was even being asked by the waitresses to, we're closing up, but finish your meal. And as soon as they left the room, he pulled out a pistol from his jacket and shot himself. And the bullet hole is still up in the ceiling. You can still see it today, which is just crazy to me. But they have a place for him at the table with his name and everything, so he's got a permanent spot right there in the dining hall. So when Jake caught this, he thought this could possibly be him. But once Jake showed this picture to everybody who worked there, they ultimately said, "Oh, we know who this is. This is one of the waiters who worked at the hotel." And they even had a black and white photograph of the whole staff, and they pointed him out. And sure enough, he's wearing black pants, a white shirt, and everything. And they said he was well liked by everybody, and he was always busy in the dining hall. Yeah. So it's kind of like finding that truth to the story and everything.
Yeah.
Especially for a photograph that I've stared at for a few years now.
Yeah, you can see on the screen right now. The picture on the left is the first picture taken, and then the next picture in succession is the one that has the guy standing kind of blurry while everybody else is still in focus. That's the image of the waiter that Jake had caught previously when he was before we even joined our team. And like Jason said, they showed it to the actual Wolf Inn, and they verified that's who they thought it was. It was as Jason mentioned, the waiter.
Was he I thought he was maybe the cook, wasn't he?
Cook, waiter,
and cook, possibly. But he was out there because in that photograph, what we always thought was a cowboy hat, it looks, now that they pointed it out, it looks like a tray in his hand. So that's cool.
I can show it again. I took it out. Well,
sorry.
No, you're fine. I want to do it better where you can see it. Oops.
Well, it was neat because it brought some insight on what Jake had brought.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all these workers and stuff that were there just jumped on it immediately and knew who he was. So that was really interesting to be able to see people that have worked there for a long time that knew him.
And see the gentleman, and damn it, I can't remember his name that they said. Either. It's been a while since we were there, but this gentleman was shot inside the hotel as well when a disgruntled person came in and fired at him and shot him in the foot. Didn't kill him, he didn't die there, but again, he was a victim of a gunshot wound. Mm-hmm. So at least two.
What's his name? Millet? Is that his name?
The gentleman who did die.
Yeah, the one that was. Which I'll go ahead and put up the bullet hole picture as well.
Oh, thank you.
I have it here.
I kept sending you all kinds of photos that night.
So
There it is.
yeah, that's the picture of the bull up in the ceiling.
Still up there. It's crazy, you know, that they've never taken it away and just taken the bullet out. And
So my question about that: has anybody done anything with that as far as how high is it? How tall is that ceiling?
oh, it's pretty tall.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty tall.
The reason I asked that, I would love to go up and take like some kind of equipment, a meter or something, to see if we get
True.
any kind of energy off
True.
of it, any kind of residual.
You'd have to get a huge ladder to it because it's
I was just
pretty
curious.
Like
decent.
12 foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty decent
Is it?
size.
15 foot ceiling. It's big.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really-
nice in there. It's small dining
Mhm.
hall, you know, but at the time when he shot himself, it was one of the best dining halls in the county. They said so.
Okay.
People were traveling all over for it. So it was very cool. It was very interesting night.
There's the dining room coming up now,
It was
behind the guys.
it was like hit or miss on a few things, but
Mm-hmm.
it was literally our first time ever doing it. And
Yeah.
we had a large group of people.
Yeah.
So it took you know. I'd love to go back just
Yeah.
to try again.
Well, if we do, I know there's about 5 people that really want to sign up for it. So there's some
do
friends
it.
of mine, and they
I'll reach out to them and see when they want to do it again.
had mentioned it to me, and I'm like, you missed it. I say we, but I didn't get to go to that one either. But the group was just there.
I'm gonna drag your ass there next time.
I'll eventually get to these places. It's just between work and some other things, I just haven't had an opportunity to go with you guys a lot lately, especially
So-
the far traveling ones.
Yeah. Your last investigation was when? Like public?
Public wise, I honestly don't even know.
I do.
28
I do.
No, 2019, right?
It was when I sold like 50 extra spots because you guys, we were talking about it, I think at Wilson.
Well, we went to Dodge City.
Was it
It
Wilson?
was Wilson, then also
It was
the
for
Dodge.
One of those
too.
two were probably the last ones I think I went public with.
Yeah,
I believe.
it was around
Yeah,
those
It
times.
was
Yeah,
around those times.
Yeah,
you jerk, selling more tickets than we needed.
that was funny. He just kept coming in.
Jake just kept looking at you. Jason's
Oh,
gonna
finally
kill
Jake
you.
took it away from
Jake-
me.
Jake-
He said,
Jason's
I'm
gonna
done,
kill
buddy.
you,
I'm
you know?
done. Yeah.
The good old Midland Railroad Hotel. We've
Yep.
been there
Been a
plenty
while.
of times. Sold it out every time we went.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll go back. I don't know. We've done it so many
Maybe.
times. It's kind of like I'm ready for us to go different directions and
Yeah.
stuff. So
I would say never because
never say never.
we never.
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 Claudia mentioned, she said the owners at the Simmer Motel are excited about doing a paranormal
Yes.
stuff in there too.
Yes.
That's cool.
We're excited. And that was all Dan. Dan.
Oh, really?
Oh, Dan landed that one perfectly. I never got to go. Man, okay, so after the event
Mhm.
at Columbian and all those, I talked with Marla for a while, packed up a bunch of stuff, and then I headed over there to the motel. Not one of those jerks actually answered their phones because I was like, okay, I'm here to like investigate. You know, where you guys at?
Right.
So I was like, I'm just gonna head home. So I drove, and it was so hard to drive because I was like falling asleep in certain times and had to pull off to a hotel and sleep in the parking lot.
Right.
Oh man, rough. And I was by myself too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, but then finally Dan's like, oh, we had a place for you and everything. I was like, oh man, that hurts. I really wanted to see the inside of all this stuff.
Right.
Because I've never been over there to the motel or anything. So
Yeah.
I was really anxious to kind of see what they all had, because Andy was over there with Stacy and Dan and Dana, but I think Jake and Elizabeth were across the street.
And didn't you guys have an opportunity to investigate there after the event was over?
They were just going to open up their rooms and stuff.
Go mess around?
Yeah, just
Okay.
mess around with equipment and stuff. But that's what I was kind of hoping for. But oh well. I went home.
Man,
It was a rough drive.
I wouldn't do that. I'm too old for that stuff.
Yeah,
Not
it,
really.
it was a rough drive.
I don't like
You
doing
and I
it
always
in
end
the
up
dark.
doing that. We're like, you want to go home?
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. Yeah, let's go.
I'd rather just probably crash my car for a couple hours.
Because
I
the way we
did.
look at
I
it, we're
did.
like,
Sunlight hits.
man, by the time we wake up, we'd already be home.
I
I
know.
know.
That's the bad,
Because
Yeah.
the other side of it.
yeah.
I was gonna to say? I saw something that made me think about something. Earlier I think Dan got on and said it was the Palace Hotel. Palace Hotel in Eureka Springs with the dolls.
Oh, gotcha.
Where he stayed with Rosemary, depending how you say it. And according to Chris and Rhea, I'm just a floating head. Apparently, that's all they know me as anymore. They don't know me. They don't know I exist.
Nobody knows you.
I might be a robot or a ghost.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Palace Hotel, we're going to be going out there hopefully soon too.
Yeah, we've got
the team's going to
got a
investigate
standing invitation to go out there, but they want us to go in the off season, of course, which is understandable.
Right. I was talking to Dan about that, so I think we're going to get that situated. We're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
Kind of looking forward to that.
Can you say the other place in the same vicinity, or near the vicinity?
You mean in Arkansas?
Yeah.
I can.
I don't know if you can. I mean, is it supposed to?
No.
Are you supposed to?
No, I won't.
No, I wouldn't.
Let's just say the team is going out there. Not me, of course. Not floating head. I got to work that day. They get to go out and investigate a place that's been featured on a prominent ghost hunting show coming up in the next couple weeks. So that'll be fun. Jealous, but I can't go. But
yeah, I've been talking to the owner and making it happen.
yeah,
so.
how'd you meet the owner?
It was through a friend
Mm-hmm.
who won a contest from watching the owner's YouTube and all that stuff, Facebook and all that. She won it, but then realized, in the time span that is needed for it to be investigated, she couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
And so she turned right around, got a hold of the owner, told him all about us.
Nice.
And said, I'm going to have him contact you guys because I think they need to do it. So
Cool.
She caught a hold of me and she said, hey, I've already told him that you're going to contact and,
oh, wow.
What do you think? Do you want to do it? And I'm like, well, hell yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a house from the 1800s. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to hear all about it. Hopefully, when you guys get back, you guys talk about it on the show if they let you. If not, we understand. And
I think they'll be okay with it.
Maybe.
I just don't want to jinx it yet.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that it's
happened.
not March yet, so we're not going to go until about mid-March.
Yeah.
Out there, I've already got the whole plan in motion. Hopefully, we can go live with some stuff.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to film a lot and bring it to you.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, so.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
I know Corey and I have been upping our game on our equipment and stuff like that. So
nice.
We're gonna try some new things.
Yeah.
I can't wait inside there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
it. That's cool. Claudia said she actually got to honeymoon at the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've still never been there. I mean, it's kind of a mixed emotion about the place because they're so popular down there that they have a daily, nightly ghost tour down there, so you can't really investigate by yourself. You have to be a part of the tour itself. But I've known quite a few people that have gone down there and actually got to stay there and had experiences there and things like that. I know it was Jake and them, and Dan, I think they all went down there and stayed there. Was it last year they went down there and stayed at the Crescent? And they had some experiences. And then had another friend of ours whose actually house we investigated. She went down there and she was asking me some questions about it. And I was like, oh, you're out there? And I was telling her about the situation. And she was able to duplicate a lot of the same stories to me that some of the claims they've had. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'll get down to Arkansas one of these years again and hopefully get to there. We have another place we need to go investigate and hopefully do some filming out there too on a bigger scale. So
yeah,
can't wait to do all that. Hopefully that's the year. This is the year to do it, if not next year. So for some of the other stuff, we hopefully can get more traveling going. But
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
More traveling.
Definitely.
More things. More fun.
Yep.
Fun for us,
Oh yeah, it's always fun for us. Plus we have fun along the way doing things. So can't even make it a whole show.
No,
We were even late.
53 and,
Jeez.
53.
Oh man. You want a glass of warm milk while you're out there?
Where's your walker?
That's a cat to go to. I've been holding it. So what else you got going on? I mean, what else has been happening?
Okay,
I know you've done some things outside the paranormal, kinda.
Well, I was hoping for the old man would be in here to listen to this, but so Corey and I got married
back in October. Correct.
2021.
That's why that's why we couldn't do any shows. Blame Jason. No, I'm kidding. That was a part of it, but not the full extent.
You guys can do a show without me, you know.
Oh, I know, but I had work and other things going on. So go ahead. Sorry, finish.
So we planned it out. We took the train from Dodge all the way out to New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never done the train thing, it's awesome.
Really?
It was freaking amazing. Best way to travel. I we didn't want to fly.
Right.
We sure as hell didn't want to drive it or anything like that. So, we had it all planned out, and since my wife loves me, we ended up going out to while we were out in New Mexico. She allowed me to go on a little dream tour out there, where because New Mexico is the heart of the Old West, for me at least. See, I've already done all the locations of Jesse James, from his farmhouse to where he was supposedly shot up in St. Joe, Missouri. But for me in New Mexico, going down to Lincoln County, to Lincoln City, New Mexico, this is where the Lincoln County War happened, where Billy the Kid was raising hell out there. But I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research since I was in 5th grade about this location, so I've been dying for years to get out there and see it. And what was amazing is that we got to walk the entire strip of Lincoln City, of the town of Lincoln, which at one point was called the bloodiest street in America, just because they had so many gunfights and everything going on. So we going out there, I wanted to do so many things there in the building, where Billy ends up shooting the deputy,
right?
Both deputies actually, and being inside that building itself and knowing I could trace where it all happened and where the bodies were and how they went outside. It's how he crashed. He opened the window and he shot Bob Ollinger.
Mm-hmm.
I stood at the window and just you could see out there, and they got a marker out there
nice.
where Bob actually fell.
Wow.
So you could see the trajectory of where Billy was standing, and next to it, the window, you actually have, and I have it all on video and stuff like that. I'll even post it on Road Trip if I haven't already. Or on Cryptic Heartland. I'll post it on Cryptic Heartland. But next to it is his actual shackles that he had and what Billy was wearing and stuff. But he shoots Bob Ollinger with his own shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that being said, that was just part of my adventure. But we ended up driving down to Fort Stanton. No,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Oh my God!
I can't remember what it's called either. Fort. Is it Sumner?
Fort Sumner. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jesus. I call myself a fan. Anyway, so we drove out to Fort Sumner,
right.
Where the famous shooting of Billy the Kid. Did he die? Did he not die?
Right.
I'm a huge believer that he did not die. But either way, we drove all the way to the museum to where his gravesite and all that is at, and we pull in, and this was a continuous thing for us in New Mexico. Every time we go somewhere, the damn place was closed. So we drive for miles and for hours, and we finally get to it, and it's closed, even though online it says it's open.
Okay.
So we get to the museum, and it's freaking closed, but the cemetery is open because it's public land. So we were able to walk around the corner and around the building, and there it was. There's Billy the Kid, there's Charlie, and there's Tom. two of his best friends from the Lincoln County War buried there. Not to mention Pete Maxwell, whose house he was supposedly shot in. His grave is there, and several others that all played a role in this. So I'm just standing there staring at the grave sites, you know. And if you don't know the history of Billy the Kid, after he was shot and killed, it was buried quickly with no photograph of the body, so no evidence of whether or not he was actually shot or not. Somebody snuck into the cemetery and chiseled the inscription "Pals" on the grave, on the headstone. So I'm looking at all this stuff, you know, and I just start smiling. And Corey looks at me. She goes, "You brought your gear, didn't you?" And I'm like, "I sure did."
I was gonna ask you if you did.
So I go out there and I've got my phone on recorder. You know, so I'm recording that, and I run over there and I grab the 360 plasma, and I got that, and it actually went off a couple times.
Wow!
As we were right there.
Were you asking questions, or were you? What were you
well,
doing?
I was recording, but I also had the portal going. So I was doing that. So I was like, pretty sure that Billy's not going to be here. But is anybody here with us right now? And this male voice, as if like just screaming, like you know, I'm here. I was like, "What's your name? Can you just like yell out your name?" And it was Tommy. I'm like, that was his best friend,
right?
Who was shot and killed by Garrett and all them. And he's like laying right there. Crazy. And it was just like the fact that, you know, I got that name come through, and it was loud and clear. I'm gonna have to pull it and cut it so I can give it to you, or we can play it on another episode. But yeah, it was pretty clear. But Billy, no response, no nothing. But I also know that the two bodies, Charlie and Billy's grave, whoever was buried in those two spots, have washed away since then.
That's right.
From floods.
The floods, that's right.
So there is no body.
Forgot all about that.
But his headstones are. He's got two of them there. But I'm like, hey, I just did the first that I know of EVP session at Billy the Kid's grave.
Nice.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But I got Tommy's voice, or Tom. I can't say his last name. I'll have to show you or something.
I don't remember either.
I always forget how to pronounce it and stuff. But it was very cool. It was like a childhood fun time for me out there. And then from there we went to Roswell. You know, and I don't know why we were getting excited, thinking, "Oh, we're gonna go see some UFOs and stuff." Yeah, it's not that way, you know. But the museum itself in Roswell, it does paint a different picture for the incident, especially when you actually listen to like the actual videos of the eyewitnesses, who, you know, Mac Brazel, the rancher who found all the stuff out there. He very silent after the government pretty much, like, you know, took control of him basically. But all of the people who knew Mac said basically he wasn't lying. He did see something out there, had a lot of stuff to it, but I don't know. And from what I gather, even talking to Jake about the museum, it's changed a lot since even when he was there.
It's more commercialized, isn't it? Oh, wait. It's more of a gift shop, isn't it?
Kind of. Yeah, it's more props and stuff like that, but they do have all the historical stuff of the incident and the eyewitness accounts and the videos that you can just watch every video.
Oh, wow.
And then they also have a lot of stuff from different incidents, like, you know, Betty and Barney Hill and the Hopkinsville one with the little aliens. Yeah, they talk about that in Kentucky, shooting them out the windows and stuff like that, and they just disappear. Crazy story, but you know, they talk about that and just all the different Fire in the Sky, Travis Walton and his disappearance. But yeah, they had so many amazing things. I even bought I was, you know, suckered in, bought a little vial of dirt from the actual crash site area. which we were like, okay, so where's the site at? Can we drive out to it?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the stores are like, no. It's like
private
70
property,
miles
isn't
north.
Is it like
75 miles north. It's not even in Roswell. It's only because they took whatever happened out there
right.
to the base on Roswell.
Gotcha.
But the incident happened 75 miles north.
Wow.
In the middle of nowhere of desert land.
Yeah.
You have to basically, to go out there now, you have to get permission.
Right.
And have a vehicle that's like 4x4 or something like that to get out there to it.
Nah. Wow.
I'm like, well, our little, rental is not going to make it out there. So, but no, it was very cool. We even tried to go out stargazing and stuff at the caldera. Do you know what a caldera is?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what a caldera is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I didn't know what it was either. We were on the top of a mountain, and we were like got up there, and this huge field that was just like beautiful golden, all the way around. And then there's like all this kind of different like little islands here and here. A caldera is a volcano,
Mm-hmm.
and they called it a super volcano, same as Yellowstone, and it's there in New Mexico. Had no idea. But we took off and drove down into it and everything because you can just drive out there to it. And the whole time I'm like driving it, I'm like, we're in the middle of a freaking volcano.
It's wild.
I know. And there's a ranger station there, so we stopped in and we're like looking around. But we tried to do some stargazing out there, but it was November, so we were freezing our asses off out there. So we just decided to give up because you can't stargaze, especially when it's like cloudy out there. So
yeah,
it's whatever.
Weather.
But we even drove past White Sands.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a picture for. Yeah, there it is. So that's the caldera.
It's called what I just read it.
Sorry. Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. I'm gonna look like an idiot because it's a Mexican. It's Valles. Valles.
Yeah.
Maybe. Valles Caldera.
Yeah. See, Corey knew what it was. I didn't.
After looking at it, I do because we actually talked about it on an episode with Sarah Sutherland.
Oh, okay.
Talking about the one up north in Washington State.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yes. That she wants to go explore, and
Right.
that was the one she wanted somebody to be her sugar daddy. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was.
Pay her way out there to it and
Yep.
stuff.
I tried to offer, but I'm broke ass. So.
But I mean, you look at that. I mean, we drove like all down in there and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, the ranger station's there. Crazy. It was just hard to like fathom that that's a super volcano, and
That is wild.
and why not? Why wouldn't if aliens are flying around, why wouldn't they be interested in stuff like that?
Who knows?
There's still sightings out there today.
Yeah. Like, from all the shows we've done in the past, I'm starting to begin to believe the theory that they are really interested in our nuclear technology for some reason, because they always seem to have more sightings around places that have high areas of nuclear, like whether it be a reactor, whether it be whatever. Which in New Mexico we did back in the days, we did the atomic bomb testing out there in White Sands, and
we drove right past. We could have just went off,
mm-hmm.
to the right, and we would have went right into White Sands.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go down there and see that.
Yeah.
By the way, going back to your earlier comment about Billy the Kid's best friend, it's Tom O'Folliard.
Thank you. I always butcher that every time. But he called out his name. It was crazy. It was loud.
Dang.
Because even Corey looked at me and she goes, "You heard that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." He said Tommy. But we ended up cutting it short, after that, because there were some people that drove up too, and they were coming into the cemetery. And I didn't want to be like, "Oh, you're desecrating the cemetery with your with all your stuff."
Yeah. I mean,
so
I
that
get
goes.
it.
That's a interesting question for me. With all these stories and stuff, but getting into the actual paranormal part of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, over the years, we've had different discussions about, your resting place is your resting place.
Sure.
You're not there. So if you've got somebody that's a friend of Billy the Kid and this guy's just sitting right there hanging out, to me, I'm like, why would you just be hanging out at your grave?
Is it because his body's there? Or
I don't know. But what was interesting that I heard Jason say is that the way it came across was like exciting. It's like a genie in a bottle, and then all of a sudden you get let out, and you're like, "Hey, somebody can hear me."
I know that's the thing. And I don't think anybody's like going to these spots to actually do what we do.
Probably not.
And now that I say this, live, people are going to be like, "Oh, let's go do it," But
good job, Jace.
I know it. God damn it.
Nobody's ever thought of that.
But no, it's just. But it is a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a way out there. It was just. I could not try it.
Right.
I wanted to hear who I could possibly talk to.
Right.
And I got a name.
Nice.
He's was excited to tell me who he was.
That's awesome.
And I wish we could have stayed longer to do more, but like I said, more people drove up, and
yeah,
I was thinking we were just going to be there by ourselves for a while. Then no, damn tourists.
But I mean, why is it? That's the question I'm looking for. Why shouldn't it be possible that he's there or in that area? Because think about when we did the depot. And remember, you and I were interacting with who we think is Wyatt Earp, possibly, and Doc Holliday, because they were. Now, could it be somebody just playing tricks with us, ghost-wise or whoever, possibly? But we were getting good call response. They were reacting with all of our equipment to certain questions that only they should know, and I don't know what to believe at that point. But it seemed. I mean, they were there at one point.
It seemed legit.
They
were answering every question that you gave when you were asking about who Doc Holliday was, the type of person, all this stuff about his background. Right. They were answering it.
Same thing with Wyatt Earp. I was asking. I didn't even go to the main. I went to his original wife. That we were getting responses that way. And it's just. I mean, it's possible that they still linger in the areas they knew most, or maybe they go to all of them. Who knows? Because as we all know, Wyatt Earp died in L.A. So.
Yeah, why would he be there,
I mean, Dodge City is where he made his trade, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's over in Wichita here. Maybe he's in, Missouri, where he was born.
It'd be an interesting question to ask, certain people. But, they say you can go everywhere. And maybe they hear you. Maybe, I don't know. But, it's just crazy that, bang, you hear Tommy in a second, Did you hear that?
I heard a voice, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on cue. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, because we used to always talk about the place here in Wichita, the Forum Theater, where the pastor had been gone since the 60s, and we were getting, 10 years ago responses from this guy.
He left, even earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. He died in the 60s.
Yeah.
He left in the 30s.
He left in the 30s.
Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah.
Or wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't hear myself say that.
He was the first pastor there that he left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we got to see. I got to see him full body apparition with my own eyes.
See, I never have.
Heard him and talked to him, continuously all the time we were there, and it was just. Yeah.
I heard other things. I heard other people, but I never. Possibly, I heard him when I was by myself. I went up to the, where the organ.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Up there, what was
right
that?
next to his office.
Third story area.
That's where you call it first and second.
It was that rickety staircase, and I went up there, and I just stood. I forced myself to stand in the darkness on the staircase, door shut, and I could hear a full conversation between two men up there in the organ area.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Freaked me out.
I've go up there once, I think, ever.
It freaked me out.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to go up there. It's pretty. If you're claustrophobic, don't go up there.
Well, they were getting closer to me too, so it was like they were coming my way. So I was like, God. That's when I was like, oh, I gotta go get somebody.
What we need to do is figure out a way to go all the places where the pastor once was. He ended up in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Right.
But he's originally from, I think, Illinois, and I think they buried him in Illinois. So I would like to go hit those spots and go and see if we can't interact with them still in those locations, since we know we can do it here in Wichita. But
right.
That'd be interesting to try. Yeah, I don't know. Keep going. Sorry, you went to the White Sands.
No, passed by it. I just was seeing all these like signs to everything that I remember hearing about all my life. But like you said, why it's like such a hot spot for UFO sightings even today, because we were like looking up while we were out there trying to find recent sightings, and there's tons.
Oh, I bet. From
just like the year before to a few months ago, stuff like that. We're like, oh, we gotta go do it.
So let me ask you this.
Nope.
Seems like a lot of the sightings center around maybe desert areas for some reason, like arid areas.
Why not?
Why do you think that?
Oh, man.
Is it because it's so less populated than maybe a metropolitan area? I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I just was thinking about it sitting here.
Well, why not? For one, who knows what we're doing out there?
True.
We've got the capabilities of hiding out there and testing stuff, and no one's going to be out there doing that kind of stuff in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And then if UFOs are flying around and they actually catch wind of, or they monitor that, maybe they are.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
Are they monitoring us due to, like, seeing what we're up to, or are they monitoring it to, like, help us out?
Hard to say. I've been watching a lot of videos online lately of such things, and there's been a lot of people filming out at Area 51 with the whole... If you know anything about it, obviously that's where they supposedly took all the spaceships, at one time, if they landed here. And supposedly had an alien body there, so they say. But the whole... For a worker to go out there, they ride the infamous white bus that's, tinted windows, they can't see in or out, and basically you're, in essence, blindfolded, so they can't see where they're going to, and you're only supposed to be in certain areas where you work at and things like that. There's been people filming these. There's a whole area where these buses, they meet every day, I guess.
Right.
And the trucks that accompany them also too, and everything. And they're outside the gates of Area 51, and they see one of the white trucks come barreling, down the road, dirt road, flying on a dirt road past them, because he obviously knows they're there. There's people, spectators there, and so they follow him. And the guy just starts acting really erratic behavior, trying to, weaving in and out of traffic, trying to lose these guys that are following them. End up at a gas station. He pulls over to his regular gas station, and all of a sudden a highway patrolman pulls up, and he starts talking to him, and then they take off. All of a sudden the truck is abandoned all of a sudden, and the highway patrolman's nowhere to be seen. And so I don't know if it's in conjunction with these workers, but these people were trying to follow him, and they find the abandoned truck, and they were not that far behind him. It was just really bizarre. They went up and filmed up on the bus, or outside the bus, not in the bus, but
right.
Well, eventually another highway patrolman actually shows up and is curious, like, why are you filming all this stuff? Kind of just start, it gets real suspicious, and this is real. I mean, this is real. This isn't like some made up story. This happened, I don't know, probably in the last, I want to say maybe a month or two.
Wow.
And it's just really bizarre behavior. If there's nothing there, if it's just a military base, is one thing, but why all the mystery behind it still? I mean, we all know if you go out there and you step foot on the land, you're going to chance to get shot at. They have the right to shoot you on sight, the military, whoever's guarding, the camo people as they call them. And they're always watching you, with binoculars up on the hills, checking you out, seeing what you're doing. There's another video of this girl that crosses the line, but they cut it off, so I don't know what happens to her. Like, just, I don't know if she was crazy or just bold, but she just starts weaving in and out of the, the big arms, that block the gates, whatever.
Right.
And she's just walking through there, and I can't find a follow video to it. I want to see what happened to her. Like, did she get shot? Did they take it down, the video? I don't know, but this is all
Surely
recently.
They captured her.
I would like to know, yeah, but I'll have to find those videos.
It's like a suicide mission.
Pretty much, yeah, because if you step foot, like I said, you cross
I'm
the
surprised
line.
she even made it there.
And where was this?
Area 51.
Area 51.
All outside the gates of Area 51.
I've had a couple buddies of mine that have gone there, and they've been chased out with Suburbans.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I heard the same thing happens over at Skinwalker Ranch.
Probably. Well, is that because of all the? Well, is it because it's now who owns it, or is it because?
I don't know. I just some friends of ours actually went by it and everything, and I guess there's signs of like, do not trespass. We have the right to do this and this, and then they heard stories of SUVs that will come up and just run you off, and I'm like, this sounds just like Area 51.
Yeah. I had
not too far from there.
Friend of ours that did that, and he was on his motorcycle, like a street glide.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
He went up there, and he said he actually was at a fork in the road or something like that, and he kind of stopped, or something like a road that was coming around a corner or doing something up there, and he actually got out and walked up, like, I guess, towards the fence line, and he said way down you could see this cloud and this little black like SUV just coming. He went, yeah, so he jumped back down, on his bike and took off. He said they got about half a block behind him and didn't ever bother him, but until he got a certain distance and they stopped, backed up, and left.
Yeah.
But they just followed. He said it was the creepiest thing.
Oh, yeah. There's videos of two guys filming. They have, GoPros on their helmets filming, and they're just out driving around, and they accidentally take one of the roads you're not supposed to go on. I don't think they really, just based upon their reaction, I don't think they meant to go that direction, but they did, because they were just out having a fun ride. And the camel people showed up, and of course they treated them very sternly, like, what are you doing here? What, you're not supposed to be here? And basically, we can shoot you right here. And they're like, well, we didn't mean to. And the guys are, freaking out because we didn't mean to trespass. And like, get the hell out of here, basically. And they just stood their ground. They had their machine guns right there waiting.
Wow.
And watched these two guys on the motorcycles take off. And the guys' reactions were pretty like, holy shit. We didn't mean to do that. And, I mean, I don't know if it's military. I mean, we have military bases around here. One not too far from us, and they don't.
Right.
Yes, if we would try to cross, breach it, yes, we're going to get talking to or worse.
Right.
But are there any videos out there where an employee has just lost their shit and just blurted stuff out?
Usually it's on the deathbeds. It's like there's one or two guys that will say something,
they
not
pretty
fully,
much,
but just hint to some things.
They take their oath and they take it serious.
But why?
Tonight.
Is it because of the military and just? I mean, you're just
probably what it means, like what they have or what's going on there, and what it means to America.
I guess.
If you're diehard soldier.
Yeah, but some of them are not military though. They're scientists and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, the nurse that disappeared. I mean, you name it. There's different things that just doesn't add up. Now, a lot of those are just folklores. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't around during the time when the nurse was around. They ended up disappearing.
Oh, at the museum, it even talked about the mortician who knew the nurse and everything, and then she just
Is that the one where the wife or the nurse called her husband and was freaking out and said, I had seen something I shouldn't have or whatever?
She met up with the mortician who dropped off the 3 child-sized caskets.
Oh, that's right.
And he saw her outside, the base. She comes out and she's all freaked out. She's like, I'll meet you at the diner, down the road. And they met, and she, is drawing, as the story goes, she draws this, what she remembers what the creatures look like, and she passed it over to him on a napkin, and that's how we know what they look like, because of that.
Right.
But she's, she disappears. Gone. Nobody knows.
They did a story that I had seen on TV a while back where it's a long while back, but she was just a nurse carrying some stuff, and when you have the 2 metal doors,
right?
She had a deal, and she was just doing her stuff and went to back in because she had the trays, turned around, and she said when the 2 doors shut, there was something on a table, and these guys were standing around operating on them.
Right.
And she kind of went, yeah, I'm not supposed to be in here. And so she turned around and left, freaked out, and immediately called her husband at home and said, I shouldn't have done this. I don't know. I thought I was supposed to be going in there. I'm freaking out. And he's like, honey, you're fine, But long story short, they're interviewing this elderly guy. He's probably in his 80s now. And he swears up and down he was married to her. and there's no
of her.
record of her. There's no evidence of her.
Right.
Nothing.
I wonder if that's her.
Nothing. There's nothing, and it's like she never lived.
Like she never existed. Wiped off the face
Yeah.
of the earth. Rhea makes some good points. Nevada's all government,
Right,
and a lot of the land is. And as far as them not wanting to talk about their experiences there, if they're military, it's because of the military NDAs, non-disclosure. You can't
right.
say stuff, whatever. Plus, she mentioned they might lose their benefits or whatever, So, good point.
They
All
could
valid
basically,
points.
take everything away from you.
Right, take away your life, basically.
Yeah.
Yep, your money's. Yep.
Well, I'm talking about the employees that go in on the bus
Sure.
and then turn around and come back.
Right.
I mean, there's got to be employees that quit over the years.
Yeah.
You would think.
I mean, 100%. But you never hear about anybody mentioning.
But
or
if I guess if you
talking
don't
about
want your whole family to disappear, you keep your mouth shut.
it. Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. And now we're probably on some list because we're talking about it because all the
Bring it on.
filters and stuff of
Show me
Facebook and
stuff.
whatnot and YouTube and everything else we use, they have those, what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah.
What are they going to talk about?
Yeah, I see the alerts, sometimes that we're getting hit with
Mhm.
because we showed a video or we talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
something, so we're...
I don't even care if they want
And it's
to,
like a
that's
video.
fine.
It's like one of our episodes from, like,
Oh,
a
yeah.
while back,
Yeah.
and they're,
Some of
like,
our
just
earlier
now
episodes.
hitting us with,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All the let's call it logarithms, whatever what they're called.
Yeah.
But wake up blindfolded in the basement. I've seen that movie. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I mean, bizarre behavior. I mean,
Yeah.
and supposedly they're already, if you believe in all that stuff, the aliens are already here anyways, supposedly. They're walking amongst us, or they're watching us from
All the
nearby.
videos that they're saying is real,
I don't know.
you know?
I don't know what to believe.
With the fighter jets that can't keep up with it,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going past.
How they maneuver and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where it's not something human could do.
Right.
And especially at that speed, the Mach speed, like you talked about, people would die basically. Explode basically, going that fast. But I don't know. It's crazy. Just there's so much. I mean, the world's so huge. Who knows how many secrets are out there that we don't even know yet.
Oh, there's so many. So
Yeah.
many.
It's craziness. Yeah. So what else have you been up to? Anything else? I mean, I know you went on that, did all that stuff. Did you do anything else out while you were out there? Get to see anything?
Nothing crazy, The whole time we were out there just driving around New Mexico, we did like a huge circle.
Sure.
And went around and
You go to the Jeffrey Epstein Ranch, did you?
no, I didn't even know it was out there.
Oh, sure you didn't.
But we never saw a single animal driving in all the remote locations where we were the only car on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw an animal anywhere.
Alien.
And I'm just like, we were
Well-
we were excited. We were like wanting to see horses or
I was gonna say.
animals, cows, anything. It was just like,
I was gonna say,
There's nothing,
You
no
think about it, you're in the
wildlife.
desert most of that area, and a lot of
Yeah.
the stuff is they're nocturnal or they're whatever. Night
we saw a
animals.
dead coyote on the road.
Too hot.
But
Yeah, that too.
it was
Let them come out
November
and-
and it was nice. It was like,
Yeah, but still warm, isn't it?
I know, not really.
Was it in the 50s or something, or 60s, or?
Something like that. I mean, we had jackets with us and stuff
Mhm.
like that, but it was just weird. It was just something that, we just
Right.
kind of thought about, like, I haven't seen hardly any wildlife anywhere.
One thing I was gonna ask you too. That made me think about it. Did you see a lot of people? Because I noticed in some of your videos, like especially when you're at Billy the Kid and all that stuff, all that area. There's like nobody around.
The museum itself was
Well, you said it was
where he
closed, but-
escaped from and shot the
Right.
2 deputies. There's like some people that were around, like leaving as we were.
Oh, okay.
But then as we were leaving, there's another group that came in.
Oh,
But the town itself, my God, if you blink, you miss it.
gotcha.
It's one of those old West towns, but
Mhm.
it's not like Tombstone
Right.
where it still looks like it. No, people, have their houses there.
Sure.
What was crazy? Okay, we did see wildlife in one spot. This was creepy. So we're walking down the road, and I'm just like fascinated that I'm actually finally here.
Mm-hmm.
We're walking. We come by this random house that's right there, and we stop because there's like 15 deer, like hunkered down in their yard, just hovering around, like, all around the house.
Really?
And we're just like, what's going on here? Why are there so many deer? They could just run wherever they want to, but they're like hovering
found
around.
Santa's house.
I know.
I wonder if
Tiny
they had
house.
any deer feeders there, maybe. That's why they were.
I
And
don't
then
know.
you just happen to stumble across them.
I don't know. It was just weird, but they were all just like staring at us, and we're staring back like, why are you here when there's nobody else around? But
That's because all the cattle were gone from all the cattle mutilations from the aliens.
oh,
No,
true,
I'm kidding.
true.
So going back to that location, is it what you thought it would be like? I mean, as far as the layout, I mean, because you see in your mind, you hear about it, you get your own. Not you, but I'm just saying people in general get their vision of what it should look like in their mind. You see all the recreations, and westerns to Young Guns. to
Young
you
Guns,
name
Young
it.
Guns 2.
So how is it
My
compared to all
favorite
that?
movies.
Yeah, same
which
here.
they, the lady at the museum, in the old courthouse, that's there. She pretty much, killed my love of the movie. She's like, the movies absolutely destroyed the story of Billy the
sure.
Kid and all that.
Which
And
we knew some of that already.
but I'm like, I did. I guess like Murphy, he was barely even a part of the story.
Oh, really?
But yet you see him in the movie.
One of the main antagonists.
Yeah, it was actually Dolan, the younger guy, who's actually the main evil person
Gotcha.
and stuff. Couldn't go into Tunstall's store. Went out back of it where Tunstall and McSween's graves are.
Oh, really?
Or markers are and stuff. Saw the actual location where the house was, where they were all, inside McSween's house, and they get surrounded by the army and everything, and the big battle, and they catch the house on fire and all that. Saw that site. It's just a lot. The house no longer there. They didn't build anything there to it. There's just all these markers down the road. It was just very surreal to see. Like Tunstall's store is still there, but it was closed that day because they were doing renovations.
Dang.
Yeah. Story of our trip. Everything was freaking closed.
Well, you went during the pandemic too. That's what doesn't help.
I know.
I mean, not that that was the only reason why, but that's, played a role into it.
Yeah. But no, it was very cool to see, like a childhood dream to see a historical site that I've always wanted to see.
Yeah.
Everything. And on that same window that he opened to shoot, I was like, and I put my handprint right up there
Why
on the
not?
window. I was like, no one's
etched in
around.
time, yep.
No one's around. But I was thinking, though, I might be calling them to see if maybe
Yeah. Why not?
all of
Most
us.
I can do is tell you no.
It'd be a hell of a drive out there,
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Maybe we could all take the train.
How was that train ride? How do you say
Awesome.
could you feel it or anything or tell a difference? Or?
Oh, it rocked me to sleep like a little baby. It was just like, it just moved just enough but no, we had our own like cabin because they asked us if we wanted to bid for an upgrade, and we did, and we got it, so we got our own little cabin.
Oh,
wow. She had a seat, I had a seat, and you could recline, and you get dinners and lunch, and
wow.
It's all free because you got a cabin.
Yeah. How long was the train ride from here to or are you?
It was long.
Was it?
It was long. We left, from Dodge. It was, in the morning, and we got out there in the afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't bad. And the stops along the way are pretty short and sweet, and they basically, they'll tell you, don't get off right now.
Yeah.
If you get off, we're just going to leave your ass there. And they're like, we will leave.
Oh, yeah. They're not waiting.
We don't care if you're on or not. We're gone.
Yeah.
And some of these stops are like, you're looking around and you're like, I don't want to be stuck here. Hell no.
Right.
But we shot through Colorado into New Mexico, and it was awesome. It was very cool.
How many hours?
I can't remember. It was several hours.
Was it
Yeah.
several or?
Several.
Because you can get there in 10 if you drive?
Probably, but I didn't have to worry about driving, and I could fall asleep like a little baby.
That's not bad, is what I'm saying.
I could fall asleep like a little baby, get fed, have a drink, have a
Did
cocktail.
they have a smoking area?
Yeah, the train stops when you get kicked off. No, it's a non-smoking area.
Oh yeah, I'm out.
They make stops, and you can go out and have a smoke, but it's a non-smoking experience. Quit smoking.
Okay.
Okay, and back to you, Bob.
All right. I was just curious because, like I said, that's the problem with some of these areas. You go out there and you have this big, preconceived notion or idea, whatever, what this should look like, and then it's not what you think it is. And I was just curious how it was for you.
It was very cool.
Yeah?
It's very cool. I love the whole
you posted
experience.
pictures somewhere. I was trying to find them. I was going to put them up, but I couldn't. I don't remember where you did it at.
Now, have you guys been to the one that's local?
What?
Or kind of close? What is it, like Pete or it's that other gang that's here.
Dalton Gang?
Is it the Dalton? Where's that at?
Oh, yeah, it was a couple different places. The one in Coffeyville where they were shot and killed.
No, this is
And
the
then
one
there
where
was
the
one out
mom lived.
Meade.
Meade.
Yeah.
So,
I've been to that.
I enjoyed that one because I actually, when I'm standing out front there, you could just see this
Mm-hmm.
Right.
in that situation back in the day.
Yeah, one thing
You
I was
know?
surprised was you start out in the actual barn. That's where the main entrance is, and then you go up into the house. I was surprised the distance wasn't very long. I was like, really, they could have enough time to get in and out of there. I mean, with the pink, whoever was riding on them, the law, it wasn't the Pinkertons, was it?
I'm sure it was
Probably was part of
them or
them.
something like that.
But I mean, you hear this big story. Yeah, I actually there was nobody there that day when I went there. It was in the summer a few years back, so I was doing ghost box sessions and stuff.
Oh, were you
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was having fun.
Should
And,
always do that when we go places.
yeah, I have
neat.
pictures, of everything in the tunnels. I mean, it's just pitch black because
Yeah.
you can't
It's
see anything.
tiny, too.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's pretty well
back
kept.
then
Back
everybody
then, they
was
were
tiny.
skinny and tiny. It was...
But back then, it was just, I think they had to crawl to get from the house to the actual barn.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they've actually widened it.
Okay.
And, made it, and put, rock in there since then. And, made it more.
Gotta make it safe for the public.
Oh, yeah. I actually got to talk to the guy out there who runs it, and I'd asked him about, hey, would you ever let us come in here? He's like, well, I don't know. Last time we had a team come out here, it was a team from Wichita. I'm like, oh, that's us. But it wasn't us. It was the other team, and they didn't have a good experience with them. So he's like, I'll take your card, but I don't know. I'm like, but at the time, that's when we were in the paper for the depot with
Yeah.
the depot?
Cody's
I can't remember.
mom's mom, which would be grandma, lives there.
In Meade.
Yeah, she's
really?
been there like forever,
Mhm.
born there and everything. So I had to see if Cody could talk to her, see if she knew anybody there. Be interesting to
That'd be
go.
cool.
See, I used to play sports out there in middle school because being in Dodge, there was not a lot of stuff out there. We'd play the garden or whoever, but we'd play Meade also and football and stuff and basketball and track. But so I never really got to go there. But it's funny, in all these years after being out away from there, I actually got to go there and visit that specifically for that reason.
It's amazing how tiny everything was. Like the even the stairs going up. And
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you go to any of these, turn of the century homes from the, the old west and all
People were
that.
smaller back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the hotels, like the Wolf and the Josephine, just very odd structures and
Mhm.
doors and
Yeah.
whole nother era and time.
Definitely. I like to see people, 100 years from now, seeing what we have here and like, oh my God, these people had this, and that, and they're whatever having, and their spaceships or whatever, flying cars. But I had a good experience down in Meade. I don't know if I caught anything because
Yeah.
it's hard to tell, but I think where I messed up is I wore headphones in the spirit box. I didn't let it play out loud, so I couldn't record it at all.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if I caught anything in the moment, maybe here or there, but I should have just played it like normal.
It's like one of those, all these historical sites, that
Mhm.
are like them or where they were shot,
Yeah.
the Daltons and stuff.
So,
I haven't been there in ages. I would love to go back and see if they'd let us try
Yeah.
something like that.
I remember I went when you guys were heading out to, I think it was Ness City. At the time, I was going the opposite way out to Springfield, and
That's
I
right.
stopped along the way and
That's
took
right.
pictures and everything. And I didn't get a chance to investigate that everything because I was in a hurry because we were just getting lunch real quick and gas and heading out. I was like, well, I'm here. I got to stop and at least see it. I mean, it'd be foolish not to. But
Yeah.
I would like to go investigate too, to see.
It's very cool.
Which I think we may have an inn possibly, to get out there and do it. We'll see. You never know.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But we have a lot of connections with other teams and whatnot. But fun times, yeah. So, Ruth, how have you been, man? I know you've been busy in the pizza business. Anything going on in your location or anything?
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more shadows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, one really got to me
Wow.
about a week and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
Because when the shifts change, during the day there's sometimes where there's nobody there but
Sure.
me, and then all of a sudden I'll be getting ready for the day for later, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Amy's here or somebody, and I'll walk back around because I'm in the kitchen, but yet we have, sorry for everybody that's out there, there's windows that there's a wall with some cutouts that that block the front of the dining room to the kitchen.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
So when I'm back in the kitchen working and restocking, you'll glance up because you see somebody walk past.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, Sergio or Amy's here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll yell, nobody's there. I'm like, damn it. And then we know who we're looking, Mark or whatever. Yeah. And then, but the other day, I was literally looking at the menu up on the wall,
right?
Because I was looking at just measuring some stuff, and I just went, oh, cool. What's up, Amy? And I'm just working, and then nothing from her. So I went around the corner and opened the door, and that one got me because I was right there.
But you're talking about the menu behind the counter, and then where they go into the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
You saw something right there.
Yeah, there's a wall. There's actually a wall
Uh-huh.
that is blocking the dining room,
right?
And where the front counter is, where you're taking orders like this. So if you turn around right behind me, there's all the menus.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there used to be cutouts. These rectangular windows, so you could turn around and talk to the cooks.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, is this thing ready or is this ready? And so you can see right through them.
Gotcha.
And then so right behind this wall, there'll be a cutout right here.
Yeah.
And then you'll be behind it, and right up on the back of the wall, all the ingredients are there.
Gotcha.
So if there's a big cutout right here, and you see literally somebody walk right by it, you're like, oh, somebody's here for work. And that's happening a lot. A lot of doors opening and closing now.
Wow.
Pans getting knocked off while I'm there. And a pizza pan's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So if you take 50 and you try to carry those and set them down on a little tray thing, and all of a sudden you hear this bang, and you go back, and there's 10 of those on the floor, that doesn't happen. There's just no way. I mean, you could punch the side of them, and they wouldn't go anywhere.
Damn.
So we're starting to get a lot more activity.
So what do you think is sparking that up, or what's creating? I know you at one point you thought that one of the previous owners was there.
Yeah.
Do you think it still is? Or you think
I think he's there. I think, honestly, I think the more I'm there, the more I'm starting to catch things. Because over the years, I'm still learning how to do stuff that you guys do and things like that, and catch these stuff and see things. And I think I'm starting to become more open, because I'll look over and go, okay. And I'm like, and people look at me and go, Mark? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what's up, Mark? Or if they hear something in the back.
Yeah.
I mean.
But why would he dump all that?
I actually have had a couple mediums there, and they said he's kind of a character.
Oh, really?
He's not there to scare you or to. He really just goes on about his day. And so I made a comment a while back where we had one of the mediums came in and said, I was telling them about changing menus.
Oh, wow.
And they said, and she looked at me and goes, there's somebody here, right? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, yeah, he doesn't like that idea. And I said, well, I tell you what, if he doesn't like that, you let him know to come personally talk to me. So maybe now he is. I don't know. But I'm starting to really see stuff there.
Wow.
And it's starting to just get to you a little bit every now and
Do we
then.
need to have a late night at Bob and
Yeah.
I think we
Luigi's?
do. I think we
we've
do.
been talking about it for years now.
Yeah, because I've had too many people call out his name
Mhm.
that don't know him.
Right.
They don't know him.
They shouldn't know.
Yeah. Or they've described him to a T,
Wow.
and there's no way they would know him. So that right there to me is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So,
See, the problem every time I'm out there, I'm too focused on. I'm ready to get my eat on, so I'm like, I don't even pay attention to what's
Right.
going on there. I'm too distracted.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they make me want to go out there tomorrow. Now I'm off tomorrow, so I'm like, I might
I'm
go
there.
out there.
I'm there.
Damn, that sounds
But-
freaking amazing right now.
It other than that, everything's been going good. The pizza business is good. It's like anything, we're having a hard time getting food in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
a lot
bet.
of it. The food isn't
Yeah.
there. The to-go items isn't there. I can't even get to-go cups anymore.
Oh,
So
wow.
it you run out of stuff.
That makes sense.
It's a struggle. When I see people on Facebook that are just blasting restaurants for not having potato soup or a salad, I don't ever, say anything, but it just, people lighten up on these people because the owners are trying.
Yeah.
If they could have the product for you to buy, they'd have it. So
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on right now in the world with truckers and, the shipping containers, and then even the freight trains out in LA that were just, all that product was just sitting there, and people came in and just trashed them and took everything they wanted.
that was horrible.
Yeah, it's just so much shit's going on.
It's going to get
hard to-
worse.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had,
I bet.
I think, just to give you gosh, when I started, I'm just going to throw a number out. That
Okay.
way nobody knows what I'm making, what I'm not making. But let's just say 5,000.
Okay.
Okay. And then in a year, I think 2 years went by, then COVID hit. Now let's say 8,000 to 9,000 is what it would cost you to buy food.
Wow.
So
insane.
it's tripling.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
going up 70% on
Yeah.
some stuff, and it's scary.
I'll bet.
Because your profit margins just go.
Yep.
And it's different because people are only going to spend so much on a pizza
Yeah.
and go, okay, enough's enough. So
Have you had to change any of your prices
a
there? Have
couple
you?
times,
I
yeah.
haven't been itching that close. Like I said, I'm one track mind when I go out there.
Yeah,
Like, give me my
but things
food.
are going good. People love pizza. I love it. My
Yeah.
biggest issue is just getting trucks.
Yeah.
There's no employees working. We went through 2.5 weeks without a truck.
Oh my God. And you were normally getting, 2 shipments?
One a day,
That was
2 a
one
day,
is that what it
sometimes
was?
two a week.
God, that's what I thought. 2 times.
That's a
week.
huge deal. I almost had to shut down a couple just because
Oh,
you
my
run
God.
out of food. You run out of food, there's nothing to
Yeah.
give anybody.
Wow.
I told my wife we may have to call it El Luigios and start serving burritos.
You probably
know?
get a clientele there too that would eat that.
I'd be there.
And the wrong
But things are
Mexican
good.
food.
I've been able to spend a little bit more time with Jace
Yeah.
doing things. I'm here on a Sunday.
I know.
I can't believe
They
it.
tell me I'm coming. I'm like, what?
I'm
This is
excited. So, but
It's
things
not
are
that.
good. How about, and you guys, health wise, everybody's good?
For the most part, yeah.
I think everybody's getting hit with COVID, no matter who you
Yeah.
are.
I got my,
Yeah.
got my vaccines.
I got mine. I could have sworn I wasn't ever going to get it just for the fact that
You're the first one to do it.
I'm around everybody,
Yeah. Makes sense.
you know,
should, public
that are
wise.
coming in. Yeah, because pizza, they didn't quit coming in.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
I just kept going, "God, I'm going to get sick, And I got lucky. I made it 2 years.
Yeah.
And then one day, bang.
I did it because I want to do the events. I want to do the tours.
Right.
Yep.
From public investigations to doing the bus tours and stuff. That's
Yeah.
because we had one bus tour over the last. It was in October.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out like immediately.
Wow.
I mean, it was fast. Everybody's like dying to like get out and do stuff.
If people want to do
So,
things, yeah.
Yeah, it's just being around the public. I was like, I'm gonna be face to face with a lot of people, and
Yeah.
so might as well. So
Yeah, definitely.
But no, everything's been going great.
Good.
yeah, I got reached out by an author to
Oh, yeah.
so I can contribute some more stories for her. So
Yep.
it'll be in her new book coming out in June,
Oh,
I
really?
believe. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So
And
that's
something else too, maybe with the Delano
Huh?
thing, right? Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Haven't heard
There's
from
some-
him.
I'll make sure. I'll call and make sure. You never know with them two guys what they're doing. So
One of them, the one that was sitting next to me when we had the meeting and stuff, she said she's good. When I asked her anything I can do, and she's like, I'm good.
Good, like,
I was like,
interested? Good? Is
I
that
was
what she
like,
means?
okay, I guess I won't help then.
you mean like?
I was like, can I contribute? Can I what can I do? And she's like, I'm good.
She's good. I'll have to
I'm
call
like,
her.
okay.
Oh, are you talking about Sharon?
Whoever I was sitting next to.
I don't remember. Oh, I think it was Cher.
Lisa or something.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her. I'll ask Sharon next time I see her. But yeah, I was kind of excited about that. They
Some
may
new
be
stuff out in Delano happening with
Nice.
reporting and newsletters and newspaper and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Telling stories.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So
But you got to go on one of those, was it Good Day Kansas? Or was
yeah,
it a while back?
yeah.
How'd that come about?
Through Kathy, goes
Oh,
towards
that's
Kansas
right,
and
yeah.
everything,
Mhm.
trying to talk about the tours and stuff like that.
That's
So I love doing that stuff for the news. You know, I'm not even nervous anymore. I used to be like always nervous, and now I'm like, I don't care. Let's talk.
Yeah,
You know, let's do it.
definitely.
You're good at it.
It was right out there in the middle of the street, you know, near the
Oh,
roundabout.
yeah. I recognized right away where you were at.
I was like,
I was cracking up.
we do it here? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's fun. Did that. I was on Dan Terry's
Yeah.
podcast.
What's it called again? Do you remember?
Most Haunted
That's right.
with
That was
Dan,
good.
Yeah.
Dan Terry.
Yep.
I haven't listened to it or anything. I just remember doing it. Everybody in the house was like, awake and doing stuff, and I didn't have anywhere to go because it was it was like Thanksgiving time,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was closed where I could go to like do it. So I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna sit in my car.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Okay.
gonna sit in my car, do my little tripod here in my car, and I'm just gonna do that. And Terry, he laughed. He was just like, "You're not driving, are you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just sitting in the parking lot, try not to bother anybody, in home and stuff
Right.
like that. Be out of the way."
Which we talked about that. We need to get him on the show, too.
Oh yeah,
mentioned
he
all the
loves
time,
us.
yeah.
And I didn't know the man moved out to North Carolina.
Oh, that's where he's at now?
Yeah, because he was asking, where did you guys go for that Bigfoot festival in 2019? I was like, Mary, North Carolina. He's like, I am not that far from there.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that either.
So he's like, very cool, because he wanted to. We didn't talk about it, but it was like afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was texting me about that. But very cool guy. I love talking to him. He's a lot like us
Yeah,
and how
okay.
we think and stuff like that.
Like-minded,
So.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did the interview was great.
Did you?
I haven't watched
Yeah.
it either. I need to watch it.
It was
Listen
he
to it,
kept
yeah.
it going. You did
Yeah.
really good with the questions and
Oh,
her
thank you.
answering the question. I enjoyed it.
I love
Nice.
doing interviews and stuff now. It's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite things to do now.
Speaking of the Marion and all that stuff, I seen our friends from the She Squatchers are going to go out there.
Are they?
They're supposed to be out there. Is it in April? Is that when the next one's supposed
It
to?
was September
They
when
keep
they were
changing
doing
it,
it.
so
but, yeah.
I don't know. I thought next one's coming up here pretty quick, but they got invited to go out there.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
good
I'll
for
have to see
them.
how- we need to get them on the show again too. It's been a while since
Yeah.
we talked to them.
I've got a list of people
Yeah.
that
Oh,
want
God,
to,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be cool.
So that's something we'll be having coming up in the hopefully next coming weeks. Not next week necessarily, but next coming weeks we'll have more guests on the show. And
Yeah.
granted, we can get this thing working because, man, like I said, I spent 2 days on this trying to get the show running, and then we even had trouble tonight. All these updates from Windows to Facebook to the streaming platform we use, they all changed all their formats and stuff, and we lost a lot of things. But hey, we were able to go live at least on one tonight, which is Facebook, which is usually our better one. So
Right.
I'll get this posted to to YouTube here after everything is all done and said. All said and done. I said it backwards, but it's almost that time, guys. It's
Yeah.
8:52. We're getting close to the end here. Hopefully we'll be back next week. I'm trying to think what next week is. I don't even know what the dates are.
7 days from now.
Oh, cool. Thanks. That helps. That's helpful. So hopefully nothing's going on next week that we can part of it was because I didn't want to come back during the Super Bowl, Sunday and watch
Yeah.
everybody and all that other stuff, and plus just other things were going on with our personal lives and people were
personal
sick
lives.
and
We're all
whatnot.
busy. We kind of took a break, and then we all went separate ways and stuff like that. So.
Stayed busy, that's for sure. But we are back, hopefully, and hopefully we can keep it going, keep the momentum going, and see where it takes us. I know if it's not the show, we'll definitely be doing, events and stuff again, and we'll be doing private and public investigations and all kinds of other stuff. So
I'm trying to line up a bunch of stuff. I got the locations already ready. It's just
Right.
getting the process of the events and stuff. We're going to be rocking it.
Yeah.
So
hopefully COVID has slowed down enough to where it won't be an issue and things won't get shut down again. That was the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
That's the unknown.
Well, I feel like the Wamigo went pretty well. So
Good, yeah.
we had close to 50 people. So
That's awesome. And looks like we're going to go back out there again. Maybe I can get to the next one, hopefully. I
hopefully.
shouldn't even say it because I know I won't be able to, something will happen. Well, Yep. Okay, Carl. 9's the new midnight. So, I understand, yep. But we can wrap it up here a little early.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely.
Definitely, but no, it's been fun to get back on. It's like riding a bike again. Once we get going, we can definitely pick up where we left off. So this is fun,
Yeah.
and we'll do it again hopefully next week, like I said, and see where it takes us. So, yeah, thank you guys for all tuning in tonight. All the people who have been commenting. I've been seeing you guys comment. I've been trying to catch things and say things back to you guys, but you guys are all much appreciated. We do it for you guys. We do it for ourselves. That's why we like talking about this stuff, and hopefully the stories don't get too old, and and we can keep it young and fresh. So
Well, we got new stories coming. So.
oh yeah, definitely. So all right, y'all. Well, for the man that showed up finally, Mr. Roth.
Wow,
God damn, I went back to.
Wow, it's been a
Okay,
while.
let me go back real quick before we sign off. When I first met you, I met you at the Forum Theater.
Yeah.
Right.
Public investigation. We had a blast. We saw that little girl. We were talking to that little girl, and you had some interaction in the basement with things touching your legs. You were wearing shorts that night.
Yes.
And I remember Connie wasn't a fan of us at all,
Yep.
and she was like, whatever. And you and I had such a good time. But
Yep.
on my recording, I listened to it recently, and I'm like, ugh. I called you Roth the whole night because of IRA stuff. I'm in the banking business, whatever.
Yep.
There's Roth IRAs. That's how I
Yep.
thought your name was pronounced all those
Yep.
times. And I kept saying, hey, Roth, and Roth this, and Roth. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Everybody
It wears
does
on me.
it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I get so used to it.
So I don't know why I had a Vietnam flashback here and went back to calling you Roth again, but hey, all right. It's actually Roth. I'm sorry. But
It's like both with an R.
if you get the chance, go visit Roth out at Bob and Luigi's out in Andover. You won't be disappointed. I know some of the viewers here can't wait to get out there because they're making comments.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. Rhea especially was talking about you have gluten-free stuff, so she wants to come out and try it.
Oh,
And
that gluten free is the bomb.
it looks good, but man,
It's
but then I'm
so
like, but I'm
good.
missing the bad stuff.
It's
So,
so good.
yeah, it looks so amazing. I wanna
We
try
should
that
set up
too.
a night in the party room where if anybody ever wants to just come hang out with us,
Like
in
do a live
town,
show?
can do it.
That's not a
It'd be
bad
kinda
idea,
fun.
actually.
We
I like
should
that.
do that.
Yeah, people could stop in and
Yeah.
say hi.
We did.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We did a
Actually,
live
have
show.
people stop in if they want to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did a live show many moons ago out there.
Yeah.
In that back same room,
Yep.
and why not?
Let's
That'd be
do
fun.
it.
Yeah. But all right, for Mr. Roth and Mr. Jason, I'm Leo, and this has been Cryptic Heartland episode number 156. I know we should have had 150 done a long time ago, but now that we're
Hey.
4 away,
And
we're thinking about what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
If not, we can wait till 200 and do something special. But it should be fun to go out and do something live, hopefully on
we need
location.
to.
So,
We need to. We've got the
yeah.
locations lined up. We just need to do it.
So,
Good night.
yep, we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
This has been Cryptic Heartland, episode number 156, Return of the Show. See you guys.
See ya.
So if you go in the corner. Are you here? What did I say?